I'm a gorilla in a fucking coop. Finna pull up to the zoo, nigga. Oh, nigga, who the fuck is you? I don't know, nigga. No, nigga. Pull up on your blocks. We gon' blow, nigga. Go, nigga. Run, nigga. Run for the pole, nigga. Hey, please, nigga. Gas what I smoke, nigga. Smoke. Feds in my dough, jump out the window, nigga. No, you can't get no money, silly hoe. Silly hoe. I just hit a stain, funny dope. Hey, funny dope. Talking out his neck, pistol to his throat, bang. Blow this motherfucker, he gon' choke. Bang. On the ground, on the floor, someone pick him up, take him to the mall, to the fucking thing. I'm riding through New York, bang. Finna go and shoot New Jersey up, bang. Tryna take my chain, I ain't going. We gon' come and blow New Jersey up, bang. You want something? Hurry up. Try to rob, bitch, me 30'd up. Just like volcanoes, bitch, I'm curried up. Cheese in my pockets, velvet up. Hey, I'm a gorilla in a fucking coop.
Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Rebound series. This is episode number 4, currently 3.5 weeks post-show. So getting right into it. Weighed in today at 212.4, which is a little over 20 pounds above my weight the day of the King Kong Classic. So looking at last week's weigh-ins, finally seen some stability. The previous 2 weeks, as I showed in the other videos, weight climbed up very quickly. Every day, a pound or two, I was up consistently. And then last week, we saw that level out a little bit. Last video I made, I would have been at 209.6. My coach did pull back food on rest days following that check-in. And I had a pretty significant drop to 205.4. Obviously, there's other things influencing that, like training inflammation, holding water, etc. So I would have washed some of that off, contributing to the drop in weight. And then moving into the rest of the week, it climbed back up, but did seem to stabilize a little bit there for a few days. Moving into this week, yesterday weighed in at 209. It was another check-in day, so I checked in with my coach. Based on the weight somewhat stabilizing, he figured it was a good time to add a bit of food. Not too much, but moving into today, big jump in the scale, 3.5 pounds. Mostly has to do with yesterday's training session. Had a big leg day. I'm always super inflamed after training legs. It even resulted in me having a pretty bad sleep last night. I was just restless, legs were sore, couldn't get comfortable, constantly waking up. So it's been a while since I've put myself through a leg day like that, but definitely going to be something you have to keep an eye on moving forward with performance really coming back up and being able to push myself like that. So I'm going to have to be mindful of that, because obviously in the long term, if that becomes a regular occurrence, it's going to do more harm than good. So anyways, that being said, today's a rest day. Already feeling like I'm recovering quite a bit. Just been relaxing today, getting my meals in, doing some meal prep. It's hard to predict because my body's still doing a lot of weird things, but I'm expecting tomorrow I'm going to wake up a little bit lighter. But who knows? Based on the trends, I could very well wake up heavier. So we'll see how that goes. Taking a look at sleep, besides last night, which I mentioned, struggled with sleep, but otherwise still continues to be great. Anywhere between 8.5 to almost 10 hours every night. Waking up feeling rested, excited for the day, excited to train on rest days, definitely excited to get a rest day in, but at the same time, ready to get back after the next day. So definitely in a good spot with recovery. And just to touch on how I'm feeling in general, now 3.5 weeks post-show, I would say body's 100% recovered. In terms of training performance, I don't feel limited, no aches and pains. I will say with the drastic weight gain so quickly, I am feeling a little lethargic at times. brain foggy at times, and just overall, it's a lot of stress on the body. So moving on to the diet, first thing I'm going to touch on is something that we're going to be focusing on quite a bit the next week or two is blood sugar management. We're actually starting a new insulin protocol. Previously, I was using Lantus at 20 units a day. That was on specific training days, back days, and arm days. 20 units split into 2 doses, one with meal 1 and one with my post-workout meal. We're switching to a different long-acting insulin called Tresiba. I'm not going to speak too much on it because I haven't done enough research myself, so I would just be talking out of my ass. I know my coach has been looking into it and had some interest in trying it. So when he mentioned that, I said, what do you think about adding it in my plan? And he said, okay, let's do it. So we started that on Saturday at 10 units. I've been using, or I should say attempting to use CGM, unfortunately running into a couple complications with it. Can't seem to keep it in my arm. Just forget it's there, pull my shirt off, it rips it right out, or rub up against something and the adhesive starts to peel off. So anyway, still getting used to that. Don't currently have one on. I do have one on deck that I'm going to put on later today. We'll be collecting some data with that over the next couple weeks to get the insulin dose where we want it. So as I was saying, started at 10 units per day, got a full day of data with that. Blood sugars were running higher than we'd like. So just for a brief summary, woke up, fasted, blood glucose was at around 6, which is definitely high by bodybuilding standards. By the time I finished my cardio, I got it down to about 5. Pre-workout and post-workout meal shot me up to about 10. And then throughout the remainder of the day, was hovering at anywhere between 6 and 7. So from a purely health standpoint, not really terrible numbers for the average person. That's probably where they are. But the bodybuilding standard has them quite a bit lower. So we're probably going to be looking to continue increasing the dose. Just got to collect some data on that. So as of now, we're up to 15 units. Like I said, going to be throwing a CGM on tonight. And the next 2 days are training days, so I'll collect some data at that dose. I suspect still going to have to add in a little bit more, but my coach did also mention potentially adding in some Humalog around the workout window, so that will also help with it. Over the next couple weeks, I will hopefully be able to collect some data by actually keeping the CGM on, and I'll keep you guys posted about how that goes. As for the food itself, just a couple small adjustments. Meal 3, up to 350 grams of rice from 300. And then meal 5, same thing, 350 grams of rice up from 300. Everything else remains the same. Continuing on the same cardio. Appetite and digestion-wise, everything's going relatively well. Still looking forward to every meal. Not ravenous like I was before, but definitely looking forward to each meal. Digestion-wise, kind of comes with the territory. Food is quite high right now. This is the highest I've ever had to eat. So a little bit of bloating is going to come with the territory. Luckily, not experiencing any of that early in the day when I train. So definitely after meal 6, feeling a bit of bloating, not to the point where I'm extremely distended and can't pull my stomach in. I can still pull it flat, but you can definitely tell that there's food being built up in there. All right, so moving on to training, going to be going over my arm day today.
Pray for the devil album coming soon, bitch.
On the button.
You know what time it is.
On the button.
You a pussy, you get popped, no janitor, I keep the mop. That bitch on me when I shop, so come my way like Fetty Wap. I slide for real, I'm on your heels when I pull up, no ankle socks, it's going down. Relax a nigga like Young Jock, straight at his top. Grew up in the jacks, we used to
coupe on them crates, gang banging and holding up rakes. Start moving that weight, was getting it from out of state. I chose the hustle to escape while getting this cake. I had to kill a few snakes. I took my crickets with my straights. Hero with no cape while making sure my people straight. I came out on top like a tank. Now bitch, I'm the best. It is not up for debate. Always dropping crack like a vase. More views than a wake. I got what they want like a save. My ex on my dick Triple H. No, I'm not her man, but sometimes my belt got an H. My swagger from outer space. My new bitch is perfect, just right for me like I'm Drake. I eat that pussy like steak. She bad to the bone. She send naked pics to my phone. She keep my dick hard as a stone. Get head on my throne. She lick a nigga, no Patron. Just slide on that D like a zone. I'm fly like a drone. I got to the top of my own. I didn't sell my soul to get known. Don't come at me wrong. You could get smoked like a bone. Then get your ass put in my song. 2 guns on my waist. Big clips like DeAndre and Blake. I slid to his home like his base. He ran like a race. Them bullets came out his face. I got out of my shoe like I'm Ace. Check out my drip. Whole bunch of G's on my kicks. I look like I hit a lick. I put my niggas on. Now my team is set like a pig. We on fire. We lit colors bricks. I killed your homie. Now orange you blue like the Knicks. I told you I'm with the shits. 30 in my clip. I upped it in blue like a crib. But I'm done.
Approaching arms with a higher volume approach than I would have in the past. Starting off with rope extensions, have 3 sets programmed in there. That could be anywhere between 3 and 6. I'm not logbooking it at all. Just working down the stack, getting the muscle firing, full of blood, and ready to go into the heavier movements. Then I'll move on to the dip machine. 3 sets there. I've been working up to a top set followed by 2 back off sets. And at this point, my triceps are honestly pretty cooked. So moving into the overhead extensions, compared to what weight I've used in the past on this machine, I'm using very little. I want to say close to 50% of the weight, but just really focusing on keeping tension on the muscle, full stretch, hard contraction, getting good quality reps on it. And if they weren't already cooked after the dip machine, they definitely are after this. Moving on to biceps, starting off with your traditional alternating dumbbell curl, so 3 sets of that. Again, focusing on getting a massive pump going into the more heavier stuff. Then I move on to the Panada incline curl. I've been absolutely loving this machine. Every time I get on it, it feels better. So this is something that I am kind of chasing numbers. Obviously, I'm going to check myself and make sure I'm still getting good intentional reps, but this is something I feel like I can make notable increases in load every session or 2. So I'm going to aim to do that. Preacher curl. This is a machine that I've used ever since our gym opened up. It's a good single arm curl. Resistance profile feels amazing. It's super heavy in the stretch and really love that machine. And similar to the triceps, by the time I get to this exercise, my biceps are already pretty cooked. So I'm using very little weight. I want to say 35 or 40 pounds for 3 sets. And then finishing off the session with honestly what I just consider pump work, three supersets of tricep press downs and cable curls, as many reps as possible, aiming for a weight that I can get about 10 to 15 reps seems to be the sweet spot. So the objective of that is just make sure my arms are pumped to the fullest and I'm leaving the gym with a pump. Also, in collaboration with a couple suggestions made by my coach, I made some adjustments to my leg days. So going to be including some close stance movements on both of them. The objective of that is to target the sweep of my quad a bit more. Looking at my physique objectively, that is somewhere that can use some improvement. In this session, I was previously doing my extensions after the leg press and squatting, but it was starting to feel pretty redundant because my legs were just so blown up after doing the heavier stuff that at that point, I wasn't even really feeling the muscle. I was just jerking the weight around, wasn't really feeling the contraction, anything. So I'm now moving that before the heavier stuff like it is in the B session. That way I can get the most out of the extensions, and I know I can also get a lot out of the squats in the leg press, even if I have to lighten up the load a little bit. But I think with how training's progressing right now, honestly, I'm probably just still going to be working with the same weight on the squats and the leg press. So excited to see how that works out as well. And finally, taking a look at the PED side of things, no changes as of now this week, so nothing too exciting here. Been running the retatrutide for about a week and a half now. Everything seems positive. As I mentioned in the previous video, been dosing it daily at 125 micrograms, which equals a little less than a milligram a week. And so far, so good on the digestion side of things. Appetite's still great. Not feeling backed up like I was during prep, so that's all great. I did mention earlier I am feeling a little bloated, but it's not the same thing I was experiencing when I was previously running Redis. So as of now, I think I'm in the clear at that dose. How impactful is it on my blood sugar? Can't really say as of yet until I start collecting some consistent data when I get my CGM back on. So that's something I'll keep everyone posted on in the next couple weeks. As for the androgens, sticking to the dose we're at for now. I will probably ask my coach in the next week or so what his thoughts are on increasing them for the remainder of the rebound. I'm open to doing it. At the same time, I am growing pretty consistently, so he might think it's redundant. I'll let him have the final call on it, but I would be interested in bumping them up a little bit. Probably not much. I'm thinking like 1,250 milligrams a test and maybe another 20 milligrams of Deca a day, so that would bring it up to about 840. Overall, not the most exciting week in terms of updates to the plan. The big highlights of last week were just phenomenal workouts. Pumps are insane. Strength is skyrocketing. So that's always, for me, that's super exciting. That's my favorite part of bodybuilding is the training. And that's all I have for today. So thanks everyone for watching. I'll be back with the next update next Tuesday, and I will see you then.